The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.
Well, good Tuesday morning to you. Welcome into the Exist Stretch Studios. It's the Real Monica Adams Show, and we are thrilled to have all of you along with us, especially thrilled to have Exist Stretch as a major part of our show. We want to thank all of our sponsors. Please always take a look down below so you can see exciting things to come, and of course, asking you to share and like and follow the live stream on multiple channels. Exist Stretch, you're looking at right now, big supporters of our first responders, and I thank you so much for that. In fact, they have a hero program that gives an even bigger discount to those in law enforcement and firefighters, paramedics, etc. So get in. Again, the first stretch is on them, completely free. And if you haven't been in, do that first and then find the pricing that works for you. Maybe you want to go in a couple times a month, maybe even more. Again, they're 30-minute sessions, or if you want, you can combine and do a 60-minute. I'm going to be showcasing a lot of what I went through with Trisha. She was at the the Arnold Exist Fitness location. Exist Stretches inside of that. And then they also have the one in St. Louis Hills. I went over to the one in Arnold last Friday, and I'm going to tell you what, it is a game changer. ExistStretch.com is the website, and you can find them on social media at Exist Stretch. So many wonderful reasons why you should be there. In fact, we'll be joined with their head trainer and head stretch therapist, which is Trisha Rhodes, tomorrow. We'll be talking about pain and trauma. We'll be showing you some of the footage from when I went there. Well, welcome into the show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Hope you're having a good day. Much better than yesterday. We're going to talk about the rocking and rolling of the weather. In fact, two areas that they're assessing for tornadoes in the Illinois area that touched down. Let us know, though. I just asked, did you have any damage? I mean, strong winds. That was blinding rain that people were trying to drive in. It was very dangerous for a long, long time. I want to tell you, this is when I was so proud of our meteorologists that I worked with in television and in radio. I was watching Glenn Zimmerman last night, just flipping around. He did a phenomenal job, as always. Chris Higgins, John Fuller was out there. Of course, all the channels do a wonderful job, but I just happened to be watching two last night. So make sure that you are all safe this morning. We're a big community here, and we want to make sure that you are not impeded by anything. And if so, if you need anything from us, let us know. All right, so we may still have some rain today. We're going to start off with the forecast. We do have a 50% chance of the possibility of some storms this afternoon with a high of 71, down to 52 tonight. Wednesday looks great. Partly sunny skies, 66 for the high. Thursday, just a 20% chance of a late shower with 68 for the high as we go into Friday. Beautiful weather, and the Cardinals will be in action for a pretty long stretch, actually, all the way through next Wednesday. 63 on Friday and no mention of rain. Saturday, 64. That is the Kentucky Derby day. Let me know if you're getting a big hat and if you're heading to a Derby party, or the guys may be wearing their seersuckers. Sunday, 73. Then we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, and just very slight chances of rain at this point, with highs pretty much in the mid-70s. We'll be checking in with our own Beckett Moore coming up on Friday to see if there are any changes to that. All right, let's break down what many of you may be going through. It depends. Are you on the Missouri side? Are you on the Illinois side? Are you in another state? Please let us know where you're watching from this morning. So as I mentioned, a possible tornado that may have touched down in a couple of areas, actually. Clinton County, but as well, they're looking into Trenton, Illinois. That's what I was watching last night before I went to bed. Eastern St. Clair County and Clinton County. That's where they're saying tornadoes did, in fact, touch down. So, of course, meteorologists were breaking that down, showing the areas, heading into fire departments in Trenton and Germantown, responding to the storm damage and the debris. They were talking about a claim of a tornado striking near Carlisle also. Firefighters were clearing the debris, the tarp that they were putting on top of the homes with damaged roofs. Obviously, a lot of power outages and damage across St. Louis as well due to the storms. And I looked about an hour ago at Ameren, Missouri's site. St. Charles County looked like they were back, but St. Louis County still had over 20,000 people without power. St. Louis City had a couple of hundred. Jefferson County, almost 400. Washington County, 26. That's on the Missouri side. Illinois, Madison County had a few still without power. Macoupin County, hopefully they've restored all of that. The biggest was in St. Clair County with 1,174 without power, again, as of an hour ago. But Clinton County, 2,062. And of course, you can always check the Ameren site for the latest on power outages. Again, no known injuries, which is pretty amazing, but a lot of fallen trees. There's going to be a lot of chainsaw noise that you will hear today as everyone's trying to assess the damage and then get back to normal. You'll have some time with the kids maybe helping you out because multiple schools are closed today. They're citing power outages as the reason. I know Booter Elementary and the Rittner School District is closed. All other schools in the district will operate as normal in the Rittner District. In the special school district, Northview High School, North Tech High School closed. All other schools in that district will operate as normal. Of course, you as a parent should have a notification whether your kids are off school or if it's back to normal today. But again, due to some power outages, they may be still assessing those problems. So again, I hope you're all safe today. It was a crazy night for sure. Hoping for nothing like that anytime again soon. Well, some layoffs happening. This is at the Nike facility. We're talking about 172 employees that are being laid off. A warn notice that was published on Monday states that Nike IHM at 8 Research Park Drive is laying off 172 employees effective at the end of June. And now those employees do not have bumping rights and are not represented by a union. The majority of those being laid off are plastic machine operators and plastic component operators. Again, this is in the St. Charles County facility. And while we have that story locally, I actually looked around and it was actually one of the top stories on multiple news sources, so not just making news here in our immediate area. So we go from layoffs to more room for our St. Louis County officers and named after one of our heroes. St. Louis County is celebrating the new law enforcement precinct. It's the Detective Antonio Valentine St. Louis County Police Precinct 2, and it opened yesterday with his children and the county police chief cutting the ceremonial ribbon. Chief Kenneth Gregory, St. Louis County Police Chief, again just retiring, said, "We told the family over the years that Tony would never be forgotten for what he's done and that he'll always be a part of the St. Louis County Police Department. The building named after him will forever stand with his name on that wall. Around 100 employees will work out of that precinct." You got to love it. And again, when we look at something from a tragic standpoint, we then see something that is bright and will continue to help and be in his name for years to come. So thank you so much for all of those that showed up yesterday before the crazy weather came in to celebrate that ceremonial cutting of the first ribbon. Now, in other news, this is so funny how many people are saying that they're breaking up. Or are they getting married? Travis Kelce, yes. This is what we're trying to figure out. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, are they getting married or are they breaking up? The reason why people are saying this is there was a viral post that said there are rumors spreading that maybe they're breaking up. This was on X, posting claiming they had quietly split. The pop superstar and the Chiefs tight end have not issued any official update. The claim remains unverified at the time of the writing. Still, that viral post stirred fresh attention because recent reports had pointed the other way. There were talks of wedding planning and engagement still continuing to dominate the couple's public timeline. That picture you're seeing is where she was stepping out with her father and a friend in New York City. So they're saying, is this just an Easter egg for her reported city summer nuptials? Who knows? We'll follow it. I know a lot of you that watch this show are big fans of Tay-Tay, so I'll let you know if there's any official word that comes out. All right, the Cardinals spoiled things for the Pittsburgh Pirates. After 6 innings, they thought it was going to go their way, but nope, everything got turned around. I mean, you can look at the Cardinals from inning 1 all the way through the 9th inning. We had no runs, right? So you're looking at Pittsburgh. They had a run in the first and in the second, and they end up losing to the Cardinals because they had a huge rally in the 9th inning. 4-2. Way to go, Cardinals. Congratulations. As far as the National Day of calendar, it is National Superhero Day. So if the kids are going to school, let them wear their capes. School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Please thank those that safely deliver your kiddos to school. National Blueberry Pie Day. It's National Bravehearts Day. And it's National Great Poetry Reading Day as well. All right, that's how we get you all caught up in some things that we consider to be maybe some news you can use that you might want to spread around to your coworkers, your family and friends, etc. On this day, it's a Tuesday, so it's Testament Tuesday, and it's brought to you by our friends at Childress Legal Nurse Consulting. Bridget is a nurse, and many times she's working those 24-hour shifts, and we have to thank her and all those incredible heroes that take care of us on a daily basis. Again, whether it's in a hospital setting or maybe it's in a private skilled nursing facility, etc. Childress Legal Nurse Consulting, what does she do? Besides being an incredible nurse, she is also, for the last year, running her business where she works with the attorneys to make sense of the chaos of those medical records. I know it gets crazy. No reason for you to do all of that, right? Check her out, childresslnc.com, and she will be joined by her son-in-law again, Dr. Christian Schmidt. They will be on with us next month in May. Cannot wait to sit down with them and hear their passion and their inspiration. So she loves to put her name and her business behind the testimonies that we talk about. And today we're going to talk to the couple who opened House STL. You know, I've been talking about them for over a month now, hoping that you've had a chance to stop in. They've got some really cool events coming up. They're in that Baldwin area on Clayton Road. But I love to tell the backstory before we go and do our mobile Monicas or our business spotlights. And today it is that backstory, what they were doing before they decided to open Barrel House to all of you. One of the coolest places and experiences. So Father's Day, Mother's Day coming up, maybe birthdays, maybe anniversaries. Get them a gift card like we did for my son-in-law and then enjoy that experience. I don't care whether you're a bourbon or a rye or a whiskey drinker or not. It's still a wonderful place to go for live music and just a wonderful, cool setting with some great food. We're going to talk all about that. What led to Barrel House? We'll have the owners joining the Real Monica Adams Show next.
But by the end of this, I want 100% raising your hands. I'm here to empower you because you all have intrinsic value. I don't care if someone has told you that you don't. Today, we are here to make you believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bonacorsi, and I'm the president and founder of J Bloom. And I chose Monica Adams to be our keynote speaker because of the positivity that she illuminates whenever she speaks. She's an amazing influence and has so much impact on these women that they are going to leave changed.
It's a constant education. Never stop being the leader. If you are given the opportunity to be, and I hate the word boss, by the way, don't we like leader more? Have you all seen that image of a boss shouting behind their team and then the leader out in the trenches? And I know there's a lot of people that are thrown into your paths, and there are people who try to squash your dreams. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your children, a boss that you've had, but you cannot, from this day forward, I'm going to ask you to not give them power any longer. So we think it, we write it, we hear it. Think right here. Make connections today. Then pave that way. You now have the awareness. So how do you pave that path?
Your message, like at the end, can be anything, but before that, be kind.
Yep.
My husband's a pastor, and that every one of his sermons, that's always within it. That be kind.
Yep.
You have to be kind.
It is.
Oh, you're fine.
Look at this. So there's an employee out there who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader. By the way, I want to be remembered for this phrase when I'm no longer on this earth. The greatest rewards in life come from the most uncomfortable walk. God meant for me to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. You, honey, have a lot of value. And someone's told you that you don't. And I was meant to be in your life today. I've always said, I have chills. Do we all have chills? God, I say, if you can have me change one person's life, then I have done your job. I'm hoping it's all of you. But see, she's not okay for whatever reason. I don't know your story, but I'm going to tell you they're wrong. And all these women believe in you.
To hire Monica Adams for your next event, email info@therealmonica.com.
What about your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. And once again, thanks for being a part of the show. And share this with your friends and family if you have to rush off, or maybe today you're getting up and you're grabbing the chainsaw. I get it, a busy morning. Come back, though, and watch this. That's the beauty of streaming, that you can watch whenever you want. You're going to want to share this one. I just saw somebody say, oh my gosh, this place looks so cool. I know you're going to love it. And hopefully you've been in already. Maybe you were in when they first opened their doors and you haven't been back. So it's time to come back. Some really cool events that we'll be talking about. And we'll be going there, by the way, on May 11th. What am I talking about? Barrel House. I've been mentioning them for about a month and a half now. Barrel House STL, located on Clayton Road in Baldwin. So today on this Testament Tuesday, a true testament to following your dreams and your passion. There's the website, by the way, barrelhousestl.com. You can check them out on social media as well. They have some really cool social media posts so you can experience before you walk in the doors. At Barrel House STL, open Wednesday through Friday, 4 to 9. They're also open on Saturday and Sunday. They are closed, though, on Mondays and Tuesdays. So who had the idea to open this? These two, Stephen and Denise Henschel. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having us.
We are going to have fun talking about your backstory, whatever led to you coming to this, because some people might be like, oh, wow, were they involved in whiskey for their whole lives? The answer is no. How did it all come about, right? So this is what's cool. So 25 years and 25 years, we're going to tell you what they were doing and then what led to this. So first of all, you two met how many years ago?
25 or 26, yeah.
27 in 1999.
1999. They're like, hey,
Sorry
hang
to
on.
keep track.
Who knows?
We were a blind date phone call.
Yes, that's what I love. So a lot of you that you like do these dating apps, or you get fixed up, etc. A blind date phone call. Who wants to take that one?
I'll take it. I admit it. Yeah, no, it's a roommate of mine had recommended, because I was having an issue finding somebody amazing. And so he had recommended, said, hey, call this person, take him out on a date. And so I followed through with that. And the next morning I called this beautiful woman and set up a blind date. It's as easy as it is. Pretty fun.
I'd been dating all the toads.
Oh, yes. We've all been there, right? All right. So what was your first impression of him?
Interesting.
Yes.
That's a good word.
He had a skater haircut, Birkenstocks, big old T-shirt, and cargo shorts. Totally different for me.
Skater haircut. All right. I want to see past pictures of that. We don't have pictures of that.
Warm smile, eyes lit up. So there was so much more to him.
Yeah, the eyes. To me, the eyes, right? It's the windows to the soul.
Yes.
Again, folks, if you're just tuning in, Stephen and Denise Henschel. I had a chance to meet the two of them, by the way, when we purchased a gift certificate at one of the many silent auctions and live auctions that I love to go to. And I was like, this seems really cool. Again, something very unique. And finally got a chance to go around, and we asked if Jim's son, Brad, and Holly, if they wanted to go to this really cool event. And sure enough, so you're taking a look at some of the video that we experienced, which is what we're going to break down. We're not going to go deep into this today because as you can see, this is something that you need to experience when you go there. We'll break it all down. So we're going to take a quick break for you. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about their background as well and what led to this. Because as I mentioned, this is not what they were involved in. But how did this come about? We're going to get into that for you when we return.
Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com.
And welcome back again to the Real Monica Adams Show. So yes, so they met on this blind date and they decide to take it from there. It wasn't long. I mean, some people, they meet and then they date for a long, long time. But as far as the succession of you guys meeting and then getting married was just a couple of years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, he'd already had the ring at 6 months. He proposed 6 months later.
Wow.
Took me to Cape Cod, proposed up there at our 1 year kind of meeting. Got married a year later, had 2 kids within the next 2 years, and it's been a whirlwind.
Bevo Mill, is that where
Yes,
you?
we got
that's
married,
right.
everything there at Bevo Mill.
How cool! It's a really cool area. If you haven't been in a while, by the way, absolutely love it. So yeah, a couple kids get as I said, they get married. They have a couple of children. Now this is what's awesome because people that know you, they're like, oh, wait a minute, weren't you a haberdasher? The answer is yes, right? And was that within your family lineage?
Well, my grandfather was a salesman, hat salesman back in the 20s and 30s.
Okay.
And so that grew from that point, obviously wanting to do his own thing. So that's kind of how it began as far as in the family. But that was his focus originally, was obviously selling hats. That was huge.
Yeah.
In the 20s and 30s was a big
And
big
where?
thing.
What area was it?
Downtown Washington Street, yeah. So
I think that's the thing that a lot of you that don't know this, we have a huge fashion background, that Washington Avenue area. There's like a hat place down there, may or may not. I don't know if it's still there or if it,
Bean?
yeah, is it still there?
as far as I know, it's still there.
Yeah, super cool. But you have to look into the history of it all and go way back and be so proud. And I love the fact that there's still a lot in the Fashion Alliance that are still trying to get a lot of our younger generation to go into it, right?
Yep.
So what did you love most about being a haberdasher?
Being a problem solver. And I think that was probably my favorite thing just because I'm a little bit, hyperactive, I guess is the best way to put it. But I need a lot of action. And so working in, obviously, manufacturing and textiles is action city.
Yeah.
Just because, you're kind of in charge of fixing the machinery, running the production, and working with employees. And so there's a lot of those problem-solving times that, so that filled that need for me.
Do the two of you have a ton of hats at home?
We do have.
We have a fair amount of hats at home, yes.
Who has more?
Actually, our son. And our daughter, actually, our kids. He, believe it or not, doesn't wear a lot of hats.
Really?
No, I think it's just it always has been a clean head. I just do not. I don't care for wearing ball caps.
While you were working,
I'm a terrible person.
How long ago did you step away?
So 21.
21. Okay.
Or 2021. Yeah.
So for almost 4.5 years ago. When you were working there, did you wear a lot of hats?
No.
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
but
I've
but
always
did
been.
you while he was working there?
Nope.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe just because we do it all the time.
Yeah,
I
and
think
you're
just
around
becomes
it.
around
Well,
it all
this
the
is
time.
true. Think about it, anybody. I have a beautiful gym in my basement, but I don't want to work out there because it's my office, right?
That's
where
right,
your
in
mind.
a way,
I get
that's
that. I
right.
get that. So again, Barrel House STL is what we are going to be talking about of how they led to that. But we love to do the backstory, and then we're going to go there. By the way, on May 11th, which is today, they are closed, but we're going to showcase. We're going to have some people there that will showcase what they do. So he was a haberdasher while you are going along in the beginning of your marriage. You are also not in the whiskey industry. Tell them what you were doing.
Kitchen and bath designer.
Yes.
Yep. My whole background in plumbing, architecture, designing kitchens and bathrooms, going to people's homes and tinkering with the plumbing.
How did you get involved in that?
School, actually, there was a job at a plumbing company. And so I took it, and one thing just led to the other. So
How cool, because, a lot of people go along and you're trying to figure out what do you want to do. We keep talking about more and more people needing to get into the trades. And that's something that I really would impress upon you to, not push the kids to go into college right away. They may find that they end up doing this, and it's an incredible career to have, by the way. A lot of unions, behind it. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are, saying, I want my kid to do this or that. Let them find their way.
Oh,
And
definitely.
Many times it's in the trades, and it needs to come back to that. Did you have family members that were involved in it, or
not at all. My whole background was in art. My dad's very artistic. My grandfather was very artistic. So it just kind of, I was told to go into drafting. So I went into drafting, and then I wound up in industrial engineering. Then I went into architecture and wound up just doing design, kitchens and baths. So
Where's the coolest kitchen and bath that you ever designed?
Probably in South City,
South
because
City?
a lot of architecture is really cool
Yeah, this is
down
true.
there and stuff like that. So you could actually take a lot of the original and work with it and add some of the new and meld them together.
The befores and afters, that's
Yes.
probably one of my favorite things. And, we're going to be doing this Friday our real estate talk, and we always stress if you're getting ready to sell a home or you're looking to buy a home, what's the very first thing people look at? Kitchens, baths,
bathroom.
and
And
the
the
front
most
door.
expensive part of the home.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
exactly.
So the
do-
best investment
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
so,
exactly. That's the
yeah.
one that'll keep on giving and
That's
giving.
exactly.
So do you have like a really cool kitchen and bath yourself at your house?
I think so.
Wait, what are you laughing at?
I think it's cool.
Okay.
I love
He
it.
bought a house and then proposed, and I kind of got in there before we got in there. I'm like, oh no, this has got to come out. And we did. Our child, actually, at that point, we remodeled. Our son was 6 months old when we literally redid the whole house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not the
Yep.
smartest thing to do.
Well, we were dating a couple months, and he made me do his parents' kitchen. What a real testimony of keeping a girlfriend or not. You
Just
know?
trying to say if I'm cheap. No.
Let's see how talented she really is. I have to see pictures. Maybe when we do our live show, we'll show some of these. I would love. My husband's always like, we're not going to stay in this home, but see, you just said it. It is the thing that keeps, is from a business, or well, when you're selling your home, it is one thing that continues to keep that value out there.
yeah.
He doesn't want to put the expense into it. I have forever not been a fan of our kitchen or our bath for that matter. And I'm like, can we please? But you're right. It is one of the more expensive things to go through. So for those that feel that way, are there things that you would teach them that why don't you just at least change this around? Because again, you're trying to you don't want it to be dated. You're
Correct.
looking for it to be more modern.
A lot of people are wanting more modern, but there's a lot of retro that's come back around. So, which, makes it very easy to work with these days. It's a little tile, maybe overlaying, changing a cabinet, changing a countertop and faucet, and some paint.
Did
There's a
you
lot
have
that
your
can be
own
done.
company or did you work for someone else?
No, I worked for a couple different companies
Okay.
over my career. My biggest career was with Kohler Plumbing Company.
Oh, yeah.
And then a Modern Kitchens and Bath family-run company in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again,
So-
we love supporting local. Speaking of
do.
which, if you're just tuning in, I know a lot of you tune in from here and there. If you're just tuning in, we're talking with Stephen and Denise Henschel. Love to talk about the backstory. So again, a storied career for you, both completely different than what you're doing now. Before we transition to what you're doing now, so men's and women's hats?
Men's
Mainly
hats,
men's?
mainly men's, yes. And just my dad always said women were fickle, is the old way to say it. But they were always changing their fashion, and so you have to be very nimble.
Okay.
And so when you're doing men's hats, of course, nobody changes anything. And so the styles that were
Back then.
fedoras and high rollers
yeah.
and pork pies and those were still relevant today. And so staying in that allows you to kind of have better production, and it's easier to move.
What was the most difficult one that was designed?
probably a soft bucket hat, just because of how you had to handle it and the operations for the sewing operators to be able to kind of do that. The heavier you got, it seemed like that was a little bit more, substance in your hands. That was easier to sew, easier to kind of block into shape and those type of things. So
It's fascinating to me. We have a dear friend that's been on the show a handful of times, Diane Isbell. So Hats by Diane.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to come up to the Derby this weekend. So people
Sure.
will be
Yes.
wearing her hats all over the place. I don't know what I'm wearing yet. She's making me something. So it's going to be a surprise.
fun.
I know, right?
How
But they
fun.
get, when yes, we
Sure.
are fickle. It's
Yes.
like bigger and
Bigger and
bigger
better
and
and
fascinators
brighter.
and yes, and brighter. So I talked about the most difficult. Did you have a favorite, or do you have one that in the 25 years somebody else said was their favorite?
I think that probably the favorite was a mesh hat. It was just a cloth, brimmed hat that had a mesh side to it that allowed, air to kind of travel through the top of your head, but still protected your head from the sun. So that was probably the coolest kind of change, even though it's very simple. I think
Yeah.
that everybody out there is like, it's not really reinventing the wheel specifically, but that was probably the most fun. It was just easy production, and people enjoyed it, and it kind of separated from more of the fashion side to a little bit more of the outdoor piece, which kind of propelled us to the next stage of our hat making, because we've gone through many different, obviously, fashion trends and those type of things. So
I love it. I've been involved in fashion my whole life. My mom was a seamstress. So when I knew that, that's probably what I think we first talked about when I came in. And I was like, wait, you did what?
Yes.
I love that. So you have to provide us with some pictures so we can show that
Love to
when
do
we
that.
do our live show. Yes.
Love to do
Because I'm fascinated by it. And I love the fact that men are wearing hats again.
Yes.
Like seeing some of that fashion from yesteryear be brought back and hopefully impressing that upon our younger generation. Again, first impressions are everything, and how you're dressing. But we know back then it's them getting on airplanes and they were dressed in suits and dresses and hats and
unbelievable.
I swear I grew up in the wrong era. I just want to bring it back. All right, folks. So how in the world did they go from that to Barrel House STL? That's what I think is cool, and it has a tie to Kentucky, correct?
It does.
Yes.
So you were there, and this is now where you would go, by the way. So we'll give them the address for those that have not been in yet.
14748 Clayton Road in Baldwin, Missouri.
In Baldwin.
63011.
Yes, and then barrelhousestl.com is their website, at barrelhousestl on social media. So we'll take a break. We're going to do the, how did this happen, right? The turn in the road. They went to Kentucky, I will tell you that. Then what happened after that? We'll finish that when we return.
Needs to be more positive.
Yep.
The world, and I'm spreading positivity with my air fresheners. So
You and I both,
yes.
sir.
Sadly, I wasn't aware of the Monica Adams show until recently, and was I missing out?
I'm definitely going to turn this on in the mornings on our TV.
She's helping people to understand their value. She's helping women to transform their lives.
From the minute that we walked in, I felt just really comfortable and at home here.
You are always a ray of sunshine and positivity.
Thank you for what you do. I love this whole thing that you're doing.
It's good news. It's great news. It's uplifting and empowering.
But you were engaged, and I love that. So thank you so much.
Okay, you've been hearing me talk about this actually ever since we talk about unfortunate circumstances that happen and then the beauty that comes out of them, right? So this is the facility called Garden View. Garden View Care Centers. They have 3 locations. Mama Jackie, as many of you love to call her, was at the Chesterfield location after she fell and broke her femur. She was at the hospital, and then from there we knew that she couldn't go back home. She needed some more care, and they took the most amazing care of her. I've been reading hundreds and hundreds of the exact same type of testimonials from those of you that were also concerned, and you're hoping that the hands that you put your loved ones in, that they will take care of them as close to, or hopefully even better than we could do ourselves. You're seeing they have a location again in O'Fallon. They have one in Chesterfield. They also have one in that Doherty Ferry, Big Bend area. GardenviewCares.com. And boy, that is so very true. I'm super excited actually to go and showcase them on May 12th. We'll be there doing a really beautiful shoot, and we'll show you more of the inside, the faculty, the CNAs, the nurses. And what I keep saying is don't wait until it's last minute and then you're scrambling to try to see if you can get someone that you love that needs that kind of care in. Put them on a list already, and then when it comes time that your time comes up and they call you and say, hey, we've got a space, then you're not having to have to worry about that. If you say, I don't need to get in there yet, they'll put you right back on that list. So we're excited to be talking to Elisa Santangelo. She is a part of the Doherty Ferry location. She'll be with us this coming Thursday. All right, folks, it's the Real Monica Adams Show, and we're visiting today with Stephen and Denise Henschel, the owners of House STL. But we've been talking about their backstories, again, designing kitchens and baths, as well as haberdashery. And then in 2021, their life drastically changes. You turn 50. And what a great birthday present. How about quadruple surgery on your heart?
Yes, yes.
What the heck happened?
Just to kind of start things off, I think that even though it's a, difficult thing to go through, it was the most amazing thing to happen. So it's one of those, some say, that's awful, but really, we try to look at the positive side of that and say that it was the thing that really shaped ultimately what we're doing now, which is amazing. Obviously, that we're together all the time.
24/7.
24/7, which is amazing. And I couldn't ask for a better person to do that with. So that kind of starts it off. But turning 50, work was a very stressful situation. Obviously, textiles in the United States, manufacturing is very challenging to do these days.
Mm-hmm.
Between the labor and the sewing, having the ability to sew is a much different thing than it was when my father was, part of the company. A lot of those things were lost with the Walmarts and those trades were disappeared away.
Sure.
Because people could buy those things cheaper than they could make them. So those things were very challenging. And I think that, and on top of that, I was driving a lot to work. So, I had a 110-mile commute to work every day.
Holy cow.
And then 110 miles home every day. So that was my 5 days a week for 25 years. That's a lot of miles on the road. So in addition to the factory, because our factory was in southern Missouri. So that was where I was needed. So that's where I went for my daily process. So I think that in that there was a lot of stress built. And I honestly, for a while at least, I felt like I was in very good shape. Local park, Queenie Park, I would go to and walk every day. And then one day I just kind of had, going up a big hill there, awareness of, I hope I make it home was kind of the thought process in my mind. And really it was my body telling me like, hey, things aren't right. Me being the way I am, I'm pretty aloof to that. So even though I had that indication, I continued to do things as I normally would. Mm-hmm. And Denise was really the one who made sure that I went to the
It's what we do, Stephen. It's the women that have to make you go.
That's right. And I was ready to go to work that Monday morning.
She's like, no, you're not.
And Denise segued me to the emergency room at St. Luke's. And went in, we kind of checked things out, and 2 days later, we were, set up for surgery that morning.
Prepping for quadruple heart surgery.
Yeah,
Kind of shocked the doctor.
It shocked, I think, everybody kind of, especially me. You become vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think in something like that is, you're like, what does this even mean?
Right.
And I didn't really have time to process. It was so fast.
At that point, you just are putting your hands in your
God's
life
hand.
in their hands, right?
And God's hands.
And trusting, and in God's hands. Well, that's exactly why I wanted Stephen and Denise to come on A Testament Tuesday, because these stories are all a testament to the good Lord above, saying, I know you're not going to understand, and I know this is scary to go through, but watch what's going to happen when you come out of this?
That is
you reassess life.
That is exactly what happened, and I'm a pretty tough one to reassess. I was 50 years old, so our kids are in college.
Right.
We're comfortable with the way things are, and it's very difficult to reimagine both of us.
Sure.
On how to change that into what does that mean exactly when you've done it all your life, and your family has kind of done it all your life or their life. So it was a challenge.
But let's tap into that a little bit more, because I hope you hear that. We always bring these stories on, and I do these heartwarming stories. We do these stories of tears and laughter together. When people are in the chairs, they're telling their story, but you're hearing your own story, or maybe you're hearing, oh my gosh, I just had a health scare. Is this me reassessing my own life? Yes, it should. It would be oh my gosh, my life's almost been taken from me. Okay, God decided to keep me here. What's my greater purpose? What is my purpose? So they go along and reassess, and it comes time to say, no, well, we're not going to continue this route. We're not going to continue this route. You go to Kentucky.
Right.
So,
well, we had actually been to Kentucky prior to this even happening, and which is even more. I mean, Denise and I, when we talk about going through the process of changing your life into a new thing, sometimes it's you that is the most in the way of creating that process.
Sure. Stubborn.
Very stubborn and not open to reinventing things.
When did you go to Kentucky?
Earlier that year.
Oh, so it was in 21
not.
still.
Yeah,
so
okay. 21.
It was one of those things like, okay, we went for our 20th anniversary with some friends, and we'd gone to this place that you could mix your own whiskey, and we're like, this is cool. But he was at the point, I got a 5-year plan. In 5 years, I'll get out of the company, things like that. Well, that came a little sooner.
So you go there like most people, and you're just experiencing a really fun thing. Like we think about going to Napa Valley. I don't come back saying I want to open a winery, but you think it was cool, right?
That's right.
Then you have this life-altering change from a health standpoint. So this is my belief, because God's just absolutely incredible. He dangled that in front of you in Kentucky. And then somehow, how do you go back to that mindset and turn it into your own?
Months on the couch of recovery. So, because it was kind of like, what am I going to do? Because, all that fell through the holidays and everything. And then January and February, and I'm like, I went back to work part-time for a while just to get out of the house. So,
I ran her out of the house.
And we got thinking, like, can this be done? Can we do this? How do we do this? Is it possible? And there was just many signs, and we just kept following them.
Interesting.
And put the work in and figured it out, and went after lawyers and stuff to help us to get answers.
And so there was nothing like it, and isn't really in our area in Missouri.
No, we're the first. We're a hybrid of it. Yes.
Okay, so folks, we'll take a break. What is Barrel House? Because again, now we've told their story, and again, it could be scary, and it is, to be an entrepreneur, to be a small business owner. We're all about small business, lifting up small business. So for those of you that are going along and you're like, I don't know, as Stephen just said, well, I'm 50. How am I going to reinvent myself? There are stories and stories and stories of people who have done the exact same thing at 50, at 55, at 60, even at 70 years old, and it's the thing we know them for, right? So for those of you that have walked into Barrel House and have never known this story, this is their backstory. And then we're going to have the fun that we're going to do on May 11th as we go and do this cool mobile Monica from there. I've already been there, though. You need to get there. What does it look like? What's the experience like? We're just going to tell you a little bit about that, because I want to save a lot of that for May 11th. But we've got some really cool footage that I shot when I was there back in October of last year. We're going to show you some of that when we return. Am I healing the Parkinson's? But I am helping it subside. I'm helping him feel better.
Oh, definitely.
Not only in the moment, but sometimes for the next day or maybe even a couple days. And that's why he keeps coming back. If it didn't feel good, you wouldn't come back.
Yeah, I look
she
forward
said
to
he
it.
won't have tremors when he's on the table. And I don't know why that happens, but she'll tell me he doesn't tremor when he's on the table. So for whatever release is in his body for that period of time, it's been very beneficial.
So you just find yourself being able to calm and be in the
Exactly,
moment?
I'm more relaxed and calm.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Once again, Stephen and Denise Henschel, the owners of House STL. And I just saw a comment coming in. And feel free to drop in any comments, ask any questions. If you're a whiskey lover, a bourbon lover, a rye lover, etc., ask them questions. My daughters brought me there for my birthday last year, blended my own bottle of bourbon. What a cool experience.
Nice.
Joe, I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Yes, so you've got some things that are going to be coming up for Mother's Day, Mom's Day. We're going to talk about cookies. Well, there's Father's Day events that are coming up as well. But so you decide to open this. It's been 2 years, right?
Yes,
Yes.
March 7th.
March 7th, it was 2 years, so we're going to kind of celebrate that second year anniversary. This is when you walk into Barrel House, but I want to show you some of the videos so you can kind of see, and as we look through the videos, you can explain what the process is all about. So right there, by the way, that's who greeted us.
That's our son.
I know. Tristan. And Tristan did a great job, by the way. So my husband and I were walking through, and he's like, all right, so how does this work? So that's what people are going to ask.
Yes.
As you're seeing some of this, explain to them, first of all, you open up in March a couple of years ago. Has it always looked like that, or have you changed some things over the years?
It's grown. It's always had the barrels. It's had seating areas. We've added more seating areas.
Your
tweaked
seating is
it,
beautiful.
Made it.
No. You don't want that. Hang on. Right out of the barrel, baby. Yeah, that touching plastic. That's not good. Ready? And here we go.
I want to go to that for a second because we were teasing as they go and they get the whiskey or the rye, whatever, out of the barrel.
The thief.
Yes, thief.
Yeah. What is it?
It's a whiskey thief.
A thief, because
Yes.
it's stealing the
Yes,
whiskey.
it is.
Got it.
You got it. That's
It's
right.
like it's
So the
yours.
thief, we were saying, just put it directly into his mouth. So I was like, Tristan, go ahead. And then later the guys were doing it as well. So that's a thief.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
correct, yes.
I'm learning things today. How many barrels do you have?
Right now we have 34 barrels
Holy
on the
cow.
floor.
And so
Yes.
tell them all, because you also have it separated up. So
Yes.
over the top of the barrels, it'll say whether it's
What
in
type
what
of
category.
whiskey. That's
Yes.
correct.
And so it's whiskey.
So there is really four main groups of whiskey. You have wheat whiskey.
That's
We
what I
have
was forgetting.
barley whiskey, which, and then we have corn whiskey, which is bourbon, and then rye.
Okay.
So you
And
have
it's
whiskey.
interesting because since I am not a bourbon or whiskey drinker, I would say something about whiskey, and they're like, bourbon. And I'm like, isn't it the same? No, Monica. Okay, I need to be educated, which is what I really love. And you all do that.
Yes.
So you have all of these, you go through. And so one of the comments that Jim said at the beginning is, so pretty much we just get sloshed. And Tristan said, yep. And then we were their drivers, right?
Yeah, yes.
Holly and I were their
That's
drivers.
right.
And this is what I want to stress. You may not be someone who normally would drink a bourbon or a whiskey or a rye or whatever. That's fine. There's other things for you to drink. There's food there as well that's fabulous, and we'll go through some of that. But at least be open-minded, because I've always said I'm the wine girl, he's the whiskey guy, or he's the bourbon, or he was the Scotch guy. But he has been surprised over the years. He's like, what are you ordering? I'm like, I don't know. I just am open-minded. And the mixture of, because now true mixology, right? They're blending things. And I was like, well, that kind of sounds good. And so we were on vacation and I was drinking a whiskey drink. And he's like, see,
Yeah.
you're coming to the dark side.
We love that.
Exactly.
Denise as well.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
what's going to happen on May 11th, by the way. I'm going to say, okay, let me try some things. There are some really fascinating different types of blends, and you get a chance to then blend your own.
Yes.
And then there's a whole process of once they do that. I mean, I took some video where it looks like he's got a chemistry set.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are they doing in that?
So we, to do what we want to do, because we've, in Kentucky, when we've experienced something like this before, you don't get the customization that I think it requires, because everybody is unique in their palate. And that's what makes us different, is that we put together a taste of what your ultimate bottle will be, so that you can have a sample of that before we ever put in a bottle. And the reason we do that is so that is the best taste in the world for what you're looking for. And since everyone's unique, having that taste gives them an opportunity to be able to customize that piece to fit them. And that's what Denise and I wanted to bring, was not just to produce a bottle of whiskey. This is the best bottle of whiskey for that person.
Right, individual, because
Yes,
everybody's
for
palate is
sure.
different. We're looking at, Denise, by the way, putting the labeling on the bottles, because you pick your own bottle, and then you get a label, and you name it. And it's your own
You
blend.
get to name it. We hand label it. We're pretty much mom and pop.
So did they do that for you in Kentucky, or was this your own idea?
They did
all of these things.
They did some of it. Yes, they
Yep.
hand wrote on them, and
That's
just
Bradley,
kinda
by the way,
tailored-
for those of you that don't know. That is my son-in-law.
Aw,
And
yeah.
he loved it. In fact, your team loved his blend so much that they put it in their notebook because they're
Yes.
like, if you're okay with this, we love this blend. So what are you doing with those that are in the notebook?
They will come back out around, and we'll choose that name from that and put it on the shelf as a bottle for sale.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, Bradley, look at that.
You're
So
famous.
keep an eye out. It might pop up soon.
Very cool. And I mentioned food. So well, tell them about, we had the charcuterie platter and we had the pretzel that was to die for.
We have charcuterie, we have pretzel, and then we have local pizza from Andoro and Sons. It's a flat St. Louis style pizza. We've got about 5-6 flavors, so 12-inch. And then, but our charcuterie is definitely local meats, artistic cheeses.
All about
jams,
supporting
and
local.
local. Everything's local. We put toffees on it. We put jam on it. It's all about, and we sell it in our little local retail shop too.
I love that. So, and then also, as I mentioned, so you'll go in, you've been seeing some of the videos that we've been showing over the last month or so when I keep going on and on and on about how much I love the couches and how a very warm, welcoming space. That's what you need because you want people to feel like
Comfortable.
Yes,
It's-
exactly.
It's like coming into our home. Stephen, I'll hear him out on the floor, and he's like, nope, our home's just like this. There's nothing pretentious. You come in, we want you to be comfortable, and we love it. We love seeing people be able to come in, relax. There's no TVs. It's conversations. We have friends we've met there and become good friends with. We have people who sit together and become friends and exchange phone numbers. Next thing you know, they're going out to dinner and doing stuff.
That's gotta make you
It's kind of like
happy.
reset,
does.
you know, reset life and just kind of go back to old school and having conversations.
What are the comments in your 2 years that you've been open that people have said to you that it just made you really proud to follow your dream and do this?
That it's a meeting place that they feel like they've been missing. And certainly in West County, I think that we don't have a lot of spaces like that for you to kind of get away from the everyday grind of things and really still feel planted and part of a home and a connection. And I think that Denise and I, that was kind of part of our original concept. You know, whiskey making obviously is very important to us. It's a lot of fun and we enjoy doing that. But it's really bringing people together and giving West County a place to spend a little bit of time where, you know, we kind of joke about this all the time, but, you know, in West County, we eat food as our entertainment. We have great restaurants, and that's like a great thing for St. Louis. But when it comes to experiences, to be able to kind of step away from the grind of our lives and the hubbub,
Right.
to be able to kind of walk into our door, which on the outside is, you know, the strip plaza. But when you enter in the door, you are transported away from the area. It makes you feel like you've gone on vacation somewhere else.
I agree.
And allows you to kind of wind that piece down and enjoy yourself for a little while, and then, of course, get back into your normal way of things. But for West County, we felt like that was something that was missing for us, and you know, just a space to be connected to and to be able to converse and be a part of something organic is what we call it. So,
And you want experiences, right? There's so many
That's right.
things where you're just there, but if it's an immersive experience, you're getting up, you're having fun together. Guys and girls both. I just mentioned a lot of times I walked Stephen and Denise, by the way, around the club that's affiliated here, and I always take people into the Speakeasy and Cigar Lounge, and I have to stop saying this is where the men love, and I'm like, no, it's not
Yeah,
true.
that's
There's women and men both, and we also probably in our mindset always thought of guys drinking bourbons and
that's
scotches. That's all changed. In fact, let's talk about the fact that Mother's Day is right around the corner. So what do we have planned for Mom?
A couple special things for the day. There's be some giveaways for them, and then we will have happy hour pricing all day, so they'll just have to wait. We actually have a...
You've got a Mother's Day brunch.
No, we actually changed that.
Oh, you're not?
apologize. No, we
Okay,
we
so
changed that.
we're not going to show that. Okay, no. Did you have a Mom's Day pop-up thing you're doing, though? Is that like tomorrow?
We're doing, just on Mother's Day is what we're doing something for. So, but June 14th will be our actual
kind of a blend of moms
Bourbon,
and dads.
bourbon and barbecue. Yeah.
Bourbon and barbecue. Okay.
Yeah.
So you also do these things with cookies, though, don't you? Like there's
In-house cookies are a brown butter bourbon chocolate chip cookie that I
Oh.
make. Yeah.
Do you do some cookie classes though?
We do. We have
Yeah.
okay. So yes, we have a cookie class coming up the 29th this week,
Yes.
and then May 6th. Yes, by Sugar, excellent, talented young lady.
So again, because one of the things that we look at over the last couple of years is maybe the evolution of what people say, oh, we'd like to do this, because we just talked about experiences. Instead of just sitting and where we're going to go to eat, oh, let's go to have some drinks. Well, let's actually do something. These cookies look amazing, by the way. Can I have some cookies on May 11th, please? I want to make cookies while we are
They're
doing
delicious.
our show.
Everybody loved that class. They did.
I didn't get
They
this
did.
way back.
Okay, so coming up in June, it's called again Bourbon and Barbecue. And what is the date?
June 14th.
June
It'll be a
14th.
Sunday.
So that can be a blend between moms and dads. So one of the things that I would suggest is go in, get a gift certificate, and if you're looking for something unique, this is it. When you hear that people say, birthday coming up, anniversary coming up, this is for somebody who has everything. Nope. If they haven't been in here, they do not know this kind of experience. And this is what I think they would absolutely love. So both of you, have you found different blends that you have made yourself that you're just like wowed by?
Yes. I mean, all the time. And obviously, our palates are so in flux.
Yes.
Because depending on what you're eating in that day or what you're doing, obviously those things can change the profile of how that whiskey tastes. But I have one, actually my son is the one who did the blend, so I can't completely take full credit. Of course, the customer's the one who really did the blend.
Yes.
We just followed their lead. But as we call it, Pontoon Reserve. And I took it down to Lake of the Ozarks to a friend of mine who lives down there and called it Pontoon Reserve just because
Great
it's obviously
name.
the lake.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ozarks. And it's just a fantastic blend that just kind of, and unfortunately the barrel is getting very low. So now we're getting to the point where we're going to have to switch that up and bring something new. And of course that's exciting too. But that's one that I've done. So
What
and
about
then
you?
Denise, I don't know.
Do you have one that stands out for you?
Yeah, we did, and we put it on the shelf. It's called Nisi's Nectar.
Nisi's Nectar.
Nisi's my nickname. So,
And what in that blend stands out?
the rye in that. I'm a rye girl, so
So this is what you have to do. I'm going to have Jim, if he can get off work, I'm going to have him try to come with us on the 11th. I want you to try to get him, because he usually says, not a rye fan. Right?
him to
But
try.
I think you should always be open to trying.
yes.
How often do you switch around what's in those barrels? Because if we were there in October, you probably have some different ones.
we have new barrels. We have 6 different distilleries on the floor now, and several that are empty and new ones in. So yeah, so if you like your blend, it's get it while you can.
Right.
Because
Where are you getting all of your...
So barrels come from the distilleries. So, and I don't know if you want to list out those things, but we have, right now we just brought Castle Key, which is in the kind of Frankfort, Kentucky area, close to Woodford Reserve, if people mostly know them, they're familiar with them. Then we have MGP, which is Midwest Grain Products. They are the largest distillery as far as whiskey making in the United States and the world, I would say. And they produce a lot of brands, similar to something like InBev or something like that has lots of brands underneath them. Then we have Middle West Spirits out of Columbus, Ohio. And then we have MB Roland out of Pembroke, Kentucky. We have Green River out of Owensboro, Kentucky. And then we have a local gentleman out of Lake St. Louis called Burnt Barrel.
That's what I want to know, if there was any from our
There
area.
is, yeah.
Lake St. Louis.
Lake St. Louis area. His name is Nathan, and he does an amazing job in what he does. And of course, he's got barrel in his name, so obviously he's amazing for that. But we really wanted to, a local connection.
Yeah.
So that kind of began that process, and hopefully we have more coming.
Right.
So this is not the end of things, this is just the beginning. And, that's the idea, is changing up the taste so that, we're always bringing something unique for those who maybe are afraid of rye, that there's some options for them that they can be surprised by, because there's a lot of differences. Rye is not just a monolithic type
Just
of
afraid
thing.
of whiskey to start with.
Yeah, well,
That's where I was.
That's what I was just getting ready to get into. So you have to keep an open mind, or I'm asking you to do so. We were in Alabama and went to Dread River, which I would love to introduce you to. Incredible. And took us on the tour, and we get fascinated by how it's all made, and then you go and then you try. And absolutely, that is the one where Jim was like, now this rye is not bad. And I said, so you just have to keep an open mind, right? So we had rye. I'm not a gin fan. They actually had a gin there that was great. So that's the thing. I used to say, no, I don't want that. And then I started thinking, never mind. They're all made different. And it's kind of like wines where you can, I love this wine, but a different year, the soil changes. It's all different, right? It's fascinating, folks. I hope you all understand the passion, the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into your one drink.
That's right.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
You also have live music there.
We do. Friday and Saturdays. Usually there's a calendar out every month on the website and on Facebook and Instagram. Always rotating artists. It's from single to duos. Sometimes it's trios. Nothing too loud, but a lot of fun and some dancing, some
swaying,
a little bit of everything.
We
try to keep everybody upright in the barrels.
There was definitely dancing by people that when we were there.
Yes,
let's see. I'm afraid of rye. See, Julie's laughing at that. Spectacular environment with great owners. Yes. So, folks, if you have not been, one more time, we want to give you the information of where they're located in the Baldwin area. Again, on Clayton Road, and they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, but then open up for you Wednesday through Friday from 4 to 9, right?
Yep.
And then on Saturday and Sunday as well. Saturday they're open from 1 to 9, Sunday from noon to 6. Again, the Bourbon and Barbecue coming up on June 14th.
Yes.
BarrelHouseSTL.com, on social media at BarrelHouseSTL. So we're going to be there on May 11th, which again, they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. We're going to take you through the whole immersive process. We'll show you. I've got some videos, obviously, that we've been showing you, but I want to show you live. And so we're going to go through all of that. We'll also, I love the idea of the pairings of food. So you mentioned we didn't have your flatbread, I don't think. So I would love to know what you think goes well at that very given moment. Because again, as you're constantly getting things in, it will evolve and it will change around. So this is their story. This is their testament. There's that food, that pretzel. That's screaming my name right now.
It's so good.
Yes, it is. It is. And by the way, if you are not a drinker, they have mocktails. They have other things for you as well. Right. And then you have a board of certain special drinks. That's what Holly and I did.
We do.
Yeah.
And then we also make in-house old fashions and Manhattans in the barrel. If you don't want it in the glass, we've got them aging in barrels that we are always rotating different ones.
And do you have, like, for the whiskey lover that's on your, maybe you're already thinking for birthdays, anniversaries, or you're really ahead of schedule and you're thinking about Christmas, do you have like different types of gifts and things there that people can buy?
We do.
What's the most popular?
Around the holidays is actually the little 4-pack of 2-ounce bottles of whiskey.
Okay.
Something like that comes with some chocolates in it and stuff that, is a good gift to give to somebody for sampling and just a good teaser.
Do you have candles that are like whiskey smelling?
We do have candles.
I thought I saw those.
We do have candles made by a local gal with all kinds of different whiskeys, and they smell wonderful.
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely
I
smell
stopped at
wonderful.
that before we were leaving, and Jim's like, you don't need anything. you're good. Do you have like the molds for the ice cubes for whiskey?
We do not.
That's
right now.
That should be next on your list.
Yeah.
That is one of the
So,
biggest things.
We recently have some little cigar drink holders that hold your cigar.
Yep.
And a cocktail made from staves from a barrel that came from our place.
Oh,
So-
cool. Okay, we'll have to check that out.
Yes.
Don't
Yep.
tell Jim. That might be a gift.
Yep.
under the
We're
tree.
kind of selective, so we're always trying to look for that good local made item.
Absolutely. So, folks, a really cool place. Again, if you haven't been in, I highly recommend that you get in and then tell us about your experience. Tell us how much you loved it. Always be following them on social media so you know the really cool things that they have coming up. All right, so on this Testament Tuesday, we always wrap up with a devotional, okay? Do you feel 100 days to freedom from fear and anxiety, from shame, depression, anger, or 100 days of healing? Which one are you feeling that the world needs to hear today?
Ooh, that's a good question. That was a good group of.
Wow,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm encompass all of those in one.
They
shot.
all do. I
Yeah.
didn't say the one is actually 100 Days to Freedom from Overeating, which they all blend together. I didn't say that one also.
Yes,
which one are you feeling?
That's a good. question? I'll let Denise answer.
So fear and
first.
anxiety, shame, depression, anger, overeating, or healing.
And what am I personally feeling, or what I feel
Yep,
like that?
both.
oh.
It's usually whatever you all choose, the whole world needs to hear.
Wow. It is. It's like a combo of all of that.
I would say stress and anxiety.
Yes, I
and
was
for
gonna
me,
say
because
leaning.
obviously this is what created this element.
That's usually what was
And-
chosen. I almost took that one
Yes.
off the table
You
because we
probably should
actually
'cause
have
everybody
gone
takes
through
that.
100 days. That's the one that was always chosen. But I'm going to bring it back up because I felt that today. I was hoping you would pick that one. Again, we're going to do that. We're going to do 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety from Stephen Arterburn. When we return, and then we'll let you know what's coming up for the rest of the week. Don't go anywhere.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
What a fun show. Again, love doing the backstories of small business owners and then finding out what they were doing and what led them to what they are doing. Okay, so we chose 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. And so what I'm going to do is leave this one on the table for someone to always choose, but then I'll just have them pick a number because we have gone through every one of these for the 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. So Stephen chose day 48. It's called Fail Safe. The Word of God will never fail. This is Luke 1, verse 37. So when we experience loss, unexpected challenges, overwhelming circumstances, as you did, we begin to look for ways to live a fail-safe life. We want a life in which nothing bad will happen, so we can feel secure. Good luck with that plan, by the way. Life just doesn't work that way. Fail-safe describes the safety net that is built in so that if something bad does happen, there is another way to prevent disaster. Wouldn't it be great for our lives to be fail-safe? As we go on high alert, looking for help, resources, safety, we can develop the illusion that we are prepared for the worst possible situation. We may be ready for action, but our lives are still not fail-safe. Why? Well, we're human. We know that nothing in this world is fail-safe. We ultimately will face uncertainty and challenges in our lives. Yet, in the midst of this, God's word never fails. It truly is the only fail-safe thing in our lives. And when you know that God loves you, has a plan for your life, provides a way of redemption, you can rest in his truth. And as you read God's word and meditate on the scripture, you'll begin to know what God is saying to you about the reality of life. No matter what you face, you'll know God's way through his word. You'll begin to trust God more and more. Tony Evans says, faith is taking one step when it's only one step you see simply because you believe God wants you to do it based on his word. It is taking a step without being assured of the destination. And you both did that. Here's prayer for today, everybody. Heavenly Father, thank you for your faithfulness. Your word brings truth to my life, and I know it's trustworthy. You are an awesome God. Amen. That very much fits your story.
I knew it. I could feel it.
You two are a pleasure. I can't wait. So now we get to do the fun side. So if you don't know what a Mobile Monica is all about, we take the show on the road and we go to your business and completely showcase that. But I love to know the backstory of people before we ever go to the business. That's the true human spirit, and we love to do those. So if you're interested, shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com, and let's take the show on the road to you. Tomorrow, a Wellness Wednesday, Trisha Rhodes will join us from Exist Stretch, our new title sponsor. Welcome aboard to them. We love them. Thank you for all of you that have been supporting them, because I'm all about, again, small business supporting small business. So get in there. That first stretch is free. They're, again, in the St. Louis Hills area and also in Arnold, Missouri. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about the pain and trauma aspect. For those of you, whether it's an injury from a sport or it's an accident like a car accident or some type of an accident you've had, it is trusting someone, putting yourself into her hands and letting her stretch. Let go, by the way. Let go and let her help you heal. It's really amazing. coaching. So we'll talk with her tomorrow. That's on tap for our Wellness Wednesday. From now till then, thank you so much for watching. Share this show. We'll have them share with all the people that love going into Barrel House, and then continue to spread this to all of your family and friends. Both of you, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Monica.
Of course.
Appreciate you so much.
Remember, you can be anything you want to be in life. Dream big. The only B that really, really matters, though, is be kind. God bless you all.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.